What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here. I am with David Lecko of Deal Machine, and today we are finalizing the Drawing for Dollars challenge. So we're going to do a big giveaway. This is always exciting. Really going to break down for anyone watching this, even if you've never been part of this challenge, how you can actually become a winner, right? And not just a winner in, you won something, from being in the challenge, but like you actually got your first wholesaling deal, right? That's the benefit. That's the goal. That's what we're actually here for, right? And that's what we're breaking down today. And this is what we really want to share. And so David's helped a lot of people with the software get their first wholesaling deal through the power of trying for dollars and other things. And I've helped hundreds of thousands of wholesalers get started in wholesaling real estate. And combined, we're here to help you get your first wholesaling deal. So David, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Hey, last time we actually had such a great time and we talked about the homework. The homework is to get you to the next step because oftentimes we don't do that on our own. And it was just reminding me of when I was starting out back in 2017 and I heard that I should drive for dollars. I should look for rundown properties in order to find the very best deals. I had spent 2 months writing down 40 addresses, but I missed out on one that actually was under construction. And I saw it, my heart sank. And then I was like, I have this property written on my piece of paper, but I haven't done anything. And so I just wish I had a challenge like this, because when I went home and looked up who bought it, somebody had just bought it and it was for a price that was actually higher than a price that was lower than what I would have bought it for. So I knew that it could have been such a great first deal. And I felt so dumb. I was like, man, why didn't I follow up? Why didn't I do the necessary steps that I knew I had to? So just wanted to do congratulations. I've got a list of people here who have done their homework, and one of them is going to win a prize. But you're right. The fact that you're here, the fact that you're taking these steps that we're giving you are going to make you a winner no matter what, because those steps are going to want to lead you to success that we're all here to get.
Exactly.
And that was 7 years ago, right? And like you said, we've helped people close, 10,000 deals in all 50 states. Just wanted to highlight a few people here who've posted in the Facebook group. So Franco going crazy in Houston and finally got 1,000 leads added. Dakota, you got another week down, been with us from the beginning, and you got 430 leads so far. So great job. And then Joseph, you got a solid chunk added over the weekend. Great use of the weekend. But that's not all. There's actually a few more who have completed their homework too. But just wanted to highlight some of those posts in the Facebook group. So if you're watching on social media and you did not do our 30-day challenge, you can actually register here for the replays and go at your own pace. The website is drivewithzach.com. So it's not too late if you didn't do the challenge. You can watch those replays and do it on your own pace. I'm from Deal Machine. I told you guys that story in 2017 where I started driving for dollars on my own. Deal Machine was not a company I set out to create, but I had a little bit of software development skills. And when I realized I was struggling with my follow-up, I actually went into my basement and started trying to write hand letters. And I got through an episode of Friends, which I had on at the same time. And I realized it took a whole episode of Friends to get like 2 handwritten letters out. And I was like, man, I got a follow-up issue. I realize all humans have follow-up issues. But at the time, I was just trying to solve my own problem. I was like, let me get this map on my phone so I can pin a house and actually look up who owns it from the app and have some company send the mail immediately when I press a button on the app to the owner. And so that's what turned into Deal Machine. But it was just for me. It was just on my own phone because I really wanted to solve my own follow-up issue. So I got to pinch myself every time I realize here we are 7 years later. Here I am doing a webinar with Zach. Like, how incredible is that? From having been in the same exact spot you're at 7 years earlier, wanting to do my first real estate deal. So I'm just incredibly, thankful to be here and to have helped, like I said, 10,000 deals close from people all over the country who are working on building financial freedom for themselves. So this is the challenge we've been a part of, and we're now concluding with this training. We had 5 live trainings, 1,000 participants on lives, and then 3,000 in free giveaways. So we've given all that away so far. I'm here to give you guys a few more tips in this training. So I'm going to build your list of motivated sellers. So hold on a second. Yeah, I'm going to switch over to Deal Machine. So if this is your first time, I'm just going to actually show you, how we did that. So we use the virtual driving for dollars, and I'm downtown here. Hold on, let me get to another spot. A lot of you guys have been doing different versions of this, but I'm going to show you what's easiest to show you on the technology here. So we've been driving for dollars, looking for rundown properties. Some of us have been doing the virtual method. And if you see a house that looks run down, like they've got tall grass, maybe their bushes aren't trimmed, like this house kind of looks like they're keeping it up less than maybe the rest of the houses. I see that because their bushes haven't been trimmed. They got a bunch of weeds by the fence. It could be a number of things, but I'm adding that to my list, and now that's a lead. And I'm going to actually either start mail or cold call or text, or if I'm in person, I'm going to use Zach's reverse D for D method to put that sticky note actually on the door. Zach, I don't know if you follow me on social media, but I actually did this this past week. I had a lot of fun, and I made a little video about it. So that was cool. I love the reverse D for D method. Especially when you grab a government list, right? And you can upload it in a Deal Machine. It can drive you. The Deal Machine app can actually tell you directions to drive on and visit all these properties if you're getting a government list and uploading it into Deal Machine. So that's how we build motivated leads.
Beautiful. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, you got a new one. Oh, it was, okay. Yeah. It was that one. All right. I saw a little bit of that. I'm telling you. Reverse drawing for dollars. If anybody wants to do it, it's the fastest, most efficient way. I've always said this. I'm new. I want to get wholesaling deals, but I don't want to work too hard, or I don't want to spend too much time, but I want to get the best stuff. And it's always reverse drawing for dollars. It's just such a stupid, simple way of doing things, right? And I think the first time we've talked was 4 years ago. When I had like 75 subscribers, I remember. And I was like, hey, David, I do a podcast. And you're like, sure. I'm like, perfect. And I think that video got like 40 views or something, it was pretty fun. But like, I remember after just the same conversation we're having 4 years later, and the same combo we had now, it's still on the Flipboard channel if you want to see it. Like old 4 years ago. It's all about just finding the ugly houses. And that was kind of your point 4 years ago. And it's the point now. Nothing's changed. Ugly houses equal wholesaling deals, right? And it's kind of funny how that whole thing worked out. But like, my business grew because I followed that advice, and same thing. You're here today helping even more people. But fundamentally, what Deal Machine is and the point of drawing for dollars is the complete same.
Right. Once we have once we have somebody who's actually interested in their house, what we're doing to make confident offers is to actually run the comps. So let me go to this house right here. Let's say they respond to my sticky note. They call me and they're like, hey, you had a question, David? I'm like, yeah, I'm looking to buy a property on this street. Just wondering to know if you wanted to offer on your house. And they say, oh, yeah, actually, I had this surgery. I'm not doing so well. I can't keep up with the maintenance of my house. So I am going to have to sell it. Great. Now what? I've got to come up with, well, how much, would I be wanting to make an offer? And Zach, your advice on this is actually quite simple. It doesn't even involve looking at a house. Sometimes you're like, if you don't feel low enough, then you're not making a good offer, right?
You got to feel really uncomfortable giving an offer.
Okay.
And if you don't feel bad, then it's not low enough.
Right.
And you're never going to know how low the person's going to be unless you offer it. And if you use a good cop strategy, like any strategy to teach how to lowball, you'll get it. And I mean, that's why a lot of people like this YouTube channel, because I don't tell people how to make $10,000 on the deal. I don't even tell, I just show, that's how I got initially a lot of subscribers on YouTube, is just like, hey, I'm 19 years old. Here's a $50,000 check. Like no one was doing it. No one is like nuts. Doing $50,000, $40,000 checks. Really, like it was all 10, 15. And it's because it wasn't more motivated. These are drawing for dollars deals. It's just because I offered lower. It worked, right? And I learned what to do when people weren't okay with that, right? And you never know. Every seller's a little different. You got to make a win-win, obviously, but the big checks always come from the low balls. And so, I mean, what's the difference between the wholesaler that's making 100K versus the one that's making 60? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not the amount of deals you're doing or the amount of driving for dollars you're doing. It's the offers you're making.
Yeah.
You just make them lower. You can double your assignment fees like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is one thing that I do to help me get a value of like, what's the property worth in perfect condition, is the comps feature on Deal Machine. So once I pull open that house, I can click on the comps tab. It's telling me the estimated value is $1.3 million. Now, this is Austin, Texas. So these are pricey areas. Most of the values in the land. It can tell me in perfect condition, these are the comparable sales. So that's one aspect of, I wouldn't actually say this house is worth that because it's not in perfect condition. It doesn't look in perfect condition. So obviously I'm going to be offering quite a bit lower than that. But this comps helps me get a starting place for what this could be worth in perfect condition. One of the things that I like to do is a lot of these, sometimes if they were sold on the MLS, they'll actually have photos of what it looked like when it was sold. So it could show me on the inside, like what some of these properties looked like. And so unfortunately, you don't have it. But if I feel like the house wasn't in perfect condition, I would probably remove that from my comp list. And the way I would remove it would be to click that. And so it would remove this house from the calculation. So for these all look pretty decent. I think they were all like perfect condition homes. Yeah, I mean, like, look at this. This is perfect condition right there. So I'm going to leave all these actually in the comp calculation. So what now that we know, okay, this might be worth like 1.3 in perfect condition, how do you come up with your low ball offer, Zach?
Very simple. Unfortunately, when I go and look at a lowball offer, I can do it. I can within 3 or 4 minutes, if it's in a virtual market I do, or just regular wholesaling market, I can get pretty much a perfect offer price. I know the perfect MAO. Like I'm very good at what I do there. I mean, it's just been 7 years, 15-hour days wholesaling all the time. I'm good at it. But the truth is, when I tell somebody that's brand new, their initial reaction is to spend 45 minutes comping it, making sure it's perfect, making sure all their ducks in a row, and they get super analytical. And the honest truth is, you just got to think of something that's low and just do it, right? Unfortunately, we have a in the studio, we always have this book, and when everyone says, how much should I offer? I always this is a great book, but like, it's true. It's called Go for No. That's all we always focus on. You have to go for an offer that the seller is going to say no on. That's it. Go for something they're going to say no on. Now, you don't want to do it so bad, right? I mean, if it's Austin, it's a $650,000 house. You're not going to offer 50 grand, right? But like, think of something that like they're probably going to say no on. So roughly for a offer price, we go for what we call LAO. I don't know if you ever heard of that. So it's MAO is max allowable offer, but we have LAO, the least allowable offer. What's the least we can offer without them kicking us out of the door? And what statistically seen is 70% of the MAO is going to be your LAO. So figure out what your MAO is. I always give everyone a 2-minute shot clock like basketball, and then just take 70%, multiply that, and then that should be your initial offer.
Got it. So, okay, gotcha. I like how you teach, instead of maximum allowable offer, least allowable offer, because that's going to give you a bigger spread and a bigger profit.
And they just want to be close to that max, and that max is going to make you broke. We don't do this to do $4,000 deals. Okay.
Right.
We're doing $40,000 deals here.
Right. So that's a recap of some things we've covered in the previous episode of the previous live trainings, by the way. Okay. And so today, what we're going to actually show you is how you can use AI to help you do more deals. And so let me pull open the same lead that we were just looking at. Here we go. Now, you guys see this little dot in the bottom right? That's actually the AI assistant you have available, and its name is Alma. That's what we call it. It's based off ChatGPT. Okay, we're using ChatGPT here, but the difference is it's got access to the real estate data. So now you can ask it questions like, help me analyze this property. And let's say I'm going to do wholesaling. So it's going to tell me, oh, it does have a loan balance. Okay, so the least allowable offer, it's not going to be lower than 290, because that's the balance of the loan right there. It does give you the max allowable offer. So 838. So you're going to be somewhere between 290 and 838. And that's going to be one way that it could help you. It suggests 547. So that's like one example. Let's see what else. Okay, let's try. Oh, no, stop responding. Click the wrong button. So you can get access to this not only on the desktop that I'm showing you, but when we're out driving for dollars, like we're out there in the field. So This is available on the mobile app too. So that's like honestly the best way to get the value from Deal Machine, which you guys know. I'm just showing on the desktop because it's easier to webinar stream like that, but it's the same experience on your mobile. How do I get in touch with this seller? What happens? Here's 4 methods: direct mail, cold calling, email marketing, and door knocking. All right. So you got a few, basic questions that can help you with that. Okay. Let's say I want to write an SMS. So sometimes we just don't know what to say because we haven't done things before, but this can help you actually, send an SMS, for example. Let's roll through the list here of just these like predefined prompts. You could chat with it yourself too. You don't have to use these prompts, but these are just helpful. Let me say, like, what should I say on the phone? Hey, I notice your property. Are you the owner? He's like, yeah, okay. Okay, great. I'm actually an investor. Do you have any interest in selling? And then this is a cold call script, right? You could pull up right before you do a cold call. Just get that mental fitness aligned with how the call might go. So I like to use it in that aspect as well. Let's see. We just did cold calling. Help me calculate that offer price. Last time we did wholesaling. Let's try fix and flip. Let's say you want to know how somebody would evaluate this deal for a fix and flip, right? It's gonna tell it to you. Let's see. Okay, estimated repair cost. You might be wondering, how does it know what the estimated repair cost is? Well, obviously, this is gonna vary. But you could actually ask it, right? Be like, how did you get the estimated repair cost? Boom. Oh, okay. Well, it's not perfect. All right. It didn't give you that. But what's helpful is if you do have an estimate for repair costs, which there's 3 levels, guys and gals. Okay. 20, 35, or $50 a square foot, depending on how bad. 20 is carpet and paint. 35 is bathroom and kitchen too. And 50 per square foot is everything, including the furnace, water heater, and roof. So that's going to be how you could calculate it and just plug that in based on the square footage of the property, which is available in Deal Machine as well. Zach, do you have any favorite AI prompts that you've used before or that you've seen?
I have we about 40 or 50 in freewholesaling.com.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The honest truth is there's a lot of different AIs, right? This one's great because it's connected to real estate data, but they're not going to be perfect. And every year it just gets stupid, crazy better. So you should understand that. The one thing about AI is you're only as good as the questions you ask it. And so if you ask it bad questions, it's not going to do well. And so I really love Bard AI because it's connected to the internet. Most likely because it's connected to like Google Maps and stuff too. So like if I have questions about it, so the one thing AI is really bad at right now is repair costs, but that's pretty easy because it's not inside the house. Now, if you were to ask Alma better questions, for example, this house needs new flooring and a new kitchen. What would the repair costs be in this area code? It should be able to be a lot better than just asking what the repair costs, right? Because if you just input what the repairs need, boom, it'll be pretty good. So like it's just the quality of questions you ask it, right? And then you just go from here, boom, boom, boom. Like you can always ask a lot of things too. For example, give me a script for text blasting and it'll give it to you. You can add this or that on there. What the cool part with Alma is because it's connected with Deal Machine and real estate data. You know, like what's the phone number? You could skip trace with it. That's pretty cool too. I don't know what version of ChatGPT that is going to be using, but it's probably not connected to the internet, which is fine. It's only connected to the real estate data. But you can ask it, like, based on all the data, what's the best area to drive for dollars? And I'll probably tell you right there. So I love AI for it. It is a tool, though, right? It's just like Deal Machine. It's a tool. Right. A lot of people think AI is going to do everything for me. It's not. Deal Machine's not, just because you sign up doesn't mean you're going to get automatically 100 leads, right? You have to work for it, right?
Right.
But if you input the right things into Deal Machine, you put the right leads into it, and you use it, you'll do well. It's all about the questions you ask it, though.
Let me be vulnerable and tell you about something I struggle with: analysis paralysis. Whenever somebody calls me, for some reason, I'm not always answering my phone right away. And I know I should, but the reason why I don't is because I'm like, oh, well, what if they ask me how much I could offer on their house like right away? I don't know. Well, if I just check this, be like, hey, analyze this property. Now I'm going to the phone call knowing I'm not going to tell them right away, right? But at least if they ask, I know that I know. And that gives me the confidence to answer my phone quickly, which we obviously know is super important when you're dealing with somebody who wants to sell their house urgently. And because I know the maximal allowable offer, it was $800,000. The least allowable offer is $294,000. I just feel more confident when I know where my guardrails are. So that's one way I use this AI is to help me with my analysis paralysis, and I can actually do productive things once I get out of that paralysis.
Beautiful. We always use the car analogy too whenever I get hit like that, because I know all the people that they freak out when that gets asked, and we always just say, "Hey, Mr. Seller, have you ever bought in a car?" "Yes, I bought in a car. What's my offer?" "Well, remember when you bought a car, you had to test drive it, right?" "Yes, of course." "Well, I got to test drive the house too, right? I haven't been inside the house. I haven't been inside the car. I can't give you an offer. I actually have to go see it. When's a good time for me to go see it?" And you kind of throw that off, where it's like, "Well, okay, Tuesday at 4. I'm like, "Perfect." And then you got like 2 days to really calculate it, make it right. But like I get some live calls. You guys have seen it. People are aggressive. "What's your offer? What's your offer? What's your offer?" And that always helps because everyone understands that. It's an easy analogy.
That's a great analogy.
But the MAO there, it's not bad. The repairs are a little weird sometimes, but like if you the cool part with Alma though is if you can input what your ARV is, and if you can just give it the repairs, it'll calculate a decent MAO. Now, MAOs vary everywhere, and we have different percentage filters and stuff. But still use it as a tool. Don't be like, okay, this is what the MAO is going to 100% be. Don't be lazy. But you just use it as a tool. It'll help you out.
Love that car analogy. I'm going to use that too. Now, I just wanted to open it up for Q&A. Do you guys have any questions based on what we've seen? We recapped how to find motivated leads. We recapped how to actually make confident offers. What questions do you guys have now about that or about the AI or anything else?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a bunch of questions here. So let me help everyone out here and talk. So Nick says, "I'm in a deal right now. How do I get around Earnest Money?" So it's always a weird one, EMD, everything like that. So the one thing I'd tell you about Earnest Money is you can put the EMD after the inspection period's over, write that in your contract. You can always put $100 on an EMD, you don't have to put $5,000 down. You can always have the cash buyer put the EMD down after the inspection period. Some people don't even put EMD, right? Like it's all dependent, right? So how do I get around EMD? Just put $100 on the EMD. That's my best one. Or just put it after the inspection period. Remember, contracts, or you can change anything you want, put any lines. That's the best way around if you don't have the funds for it. There's a lot of these people out here that are like, "I'll lend you EMD," and then they want half your assignment fee. That is never worth it at all, ever. Then those people are going to sue you, and I don't like getting sued, and so I always take that off the bat there. So don't give up your assignment fee for that. Maybe for JVing, but like, yeah. So Texas May Taylor, first day watching the Drawing for Dollars challenge. Any advice? Get your butt to work. The point of this challenge is to consistently show up and put Driving for Dollars leads in your CRM and just start marketing it. So one thing I tell you is if you're brand new right now, this is day one for your challenge, right? And so we've been doing this for a month, but really this is simple. All I've been making everyone do is pull 100 Drawing for Dollars leads, call, text, or reverse Drive for Dollars those leads, and do it consistently for a month straight. Most people who do that will get really good leads and eventually get wholesaling deals. That is the point of this challenge. It's stupid. It's simple. It's like if I had a lose weight challenge, it'd be like work out every day and stop eating junk food. Like eventually you just starting those good habits and you keep it up and you eventually do better and better. You're going to lose weight, right? It's simple. Same thing with Drawing for Dollars. You just got to work hard and you'll do very well for it. It's hilarious. But New Yorker says, "I'm in a deal right now and the title found a judgment of $5,000 on the property. The seller doesn't want to pay for it. Should I just let the deal go?" No. Go make $15,000 on the deal and then just pay off the person's judgment for the $5,000. Remember, guys, in wholesaling, you get paid in proportion to the problems you solve. I don't want to pay a $5,000 judgment either, but if a judge literally gave a judgment, actually a court of law showed he has to pay it no matter what. So he can either hold on to the house, but he can never sell that house without paying that $5,000. So either just get a fat assignment fee, and then from there, use part of your assignment fee for that. I do that all the time. I got people with code violations. I don't want to pay the stinky code violation. Okay, I'll make 40 grand on the deal. I'll take 2 or 3 grand off just to get the deal done. Marcellus Wallace, that's definitely a nice Pulp Fiction reference. What formula do you like for Southern California? So if you go to freewholesaling.com, which I don't understand why you're not on there, Southern California is roughly going to be 83. If you're in like Orange County, Ventura, you're probably going to be 85% ARV minus repairs, just so how high everything is there. But if you're Inland Empire, you're going to be around 80 to 83%. That's my formula for there. Javon says, what's the best type of outbound marketing strategy? Hands down, it's going to be cold calling. I've always said this. There's never going to be a better one when it comes to just if I have to make somebody brand new start, it'd be cold calling. Now, theoretically, if money's not an option, if you're asking me personally, it'd be direct mail. There's nothing outside of direct mail. Direct mail is the best. Hands down, there's not one better marketing strategy for me outbound. But that's because I have skills. When a seller calls me on a direct mail, I can close them like this, make 30, 40, 50K like that. My team's got it. They're all trained. They're good. If you're a beginner, you need skills talking to sellers. You actually need to learn how to mirror. You need to learn how not to get scared. You need to learn how to deal with objections. You need to learn how to set the appointment quick. And you probably don't have those skills. And so the best thing you can do is market and train at the same time. And the best of both worlds is cold calling, because you overcome your fear. You get really good at having conversations with people and having conversations with sellers. And then boom, you get deals. And it's a lot cheaper than direct mail. It's a win-win for everyone. Drawing for dollars here, cold call the list. It's one of the best ones out there. What type of marketing strategy do you like the best for outbound?
You're asking me what type?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I honestly do direct mail because, I just feel like cold calling really sucks energy from me, even though I know that I should do it. And I'm a little bit limited on time. So I'm okay with the extra expense to send the direct mail because I like that the people that are responding, they want to be talking with me. And so then I'm happy to speak with them, gives me more energy. And I'm okay spending a little bit more to do that with the direct mail.
But if you're broke, you got no money. It's like, what are you going to do? Right. I mean, cold calling is probably going to be your best one. And so talking about best for a beginner, it's going to be that. For me personally, it's going to be direct mail. So I agree with that. Oh, let's see. Closing on property with 180K judgment right now. Yeah, you just got to get it paid. If there's enough equity in the deal, it's fine. Brady Clark says, how do I find if a vacant lot is dividable? If the seller doesn't know, you call the building department or the zoning department and you call and ask, and they will tell you. Pretty simple. Things are zoned. They can look at the plot and let you know. Marcellus Wallace says, Zach, I'm currently working 2 jobs and I don't have time to cold call. I know you just suggested direct mail, but would it be wise to hire cold callers to generate leads for me? It would be a terrible idea to do that. You don't even know how to cold call. How are you going to know if your cold callers are good or not? That's always a problem. It's kind of like you, David, right? You run a software company, but if you didn't know a dang thing about software, you're not going to have a good vision of how to do it the right way, right? You have to have some skills, just a little bit of understanding it. And that's a big problem people have. They're like, why do you produce 500 leads in an hour? And it's because you've never cold called. You don't understand that. I would say if you really are time restricted, text blasting is probably going to be your best one. Reverse trying for dollars too. And so Marcellus Wallace, using a fake name here. I don't know what your schedule is. I don't know your 2 jobs. Are you working 16 hours a day? I don't know what it is. But I could probably tell you right now, if you reverse drive for dollars, you SMS text blasted 5 to 7 p.m. There's a lot of strategies out here, but hiring cold callers is going to be the same amount of work as text blasting. Because a lot of people think they click a button and the cold callers who are robots. They're not real people. They're these robots that call. No, these are real human beings, and human beings have problems. Yeah. Human beings have kids. Human beings take holidays. Human beings quit, right? All these things. And because of that, you're going to have to spend a lot of time training them, following up, and making sure everything's going. So I would say text blasting is probably going to be your best strategy if you're don't have a lot of time. But got to work for it. If you don't understand cold calling, it's not going to do well. If you also, obviously, you won't be able to train them well. And so when I train cold callers, I literally just record myself cold calling, and that's how I train them. And I'm really good at it, so they can use that as a base. If you're training them and you don't know what to say and use a terrible script, you're going to do well. So just be careful with that one. Let's see.
I love the questions. Great questions.
I can answer questions all day. I always get a ton of them. New Yorker says, I've been cold calling for 3 weeks, then pulling lists on PropStream. I run out of leads quickly, and PropStream doesn't add properties. How can I keep my pipeline? What video is this? Do you see the title of the stupid video? Drive for dollars. Done. Easy. I ran out of leads. Go in your car and look for ugly houses. I promise you will not run out. Unless you're like a really small little city. Like if you're in, like I remember Matt just driving for dollars in St. Louis. You run around St. Louis, you will not run out of leads. You go to Kansas City, you live in Atlanta, you will never run out of leads. I love when someone says, I ran out of leads. You do not run out of leads. There's new leads coming in every single day. You can go use DMZact.com. There's pre-foreclosures coming in every single week. You don't run out of leads. You just, you choose options and you limit yourself. Drive for dollars. That's all I can tell you. When a seller says to follow up in 2 months, should I get under contract or be patient? If the seller says to follow up, how are you going to get under contract? Always get the property under contract if you can. Matt says, my question is, if I SMS, text blast, and cold call, would it be best to do it from a government list or from a drawing for dollars leads for my first deal? Because my probate website is very confusing. Matt, you were literally giving me excuses, and all I could see here is analysis paralysis. That's it. It's like my sister asking, should we eat pizza or burgers today? It's like, I don't know. They're both going to be good. They're both going to be a win for me, so I don't really care. So if you text blast and cold call government list and you text blast and cold call drawing for dollars leads, they're both going to produce you deals. So it's like, it's a preference. But now you're like, which one should I do? In my personal opinion, you should probably do both. Why not? If you really want to get results, do both. I would say drawing for dollars is going to give you a best ROT. So I talk about ROT a lot on this channel. So everyone knows ROI. That's all people care about. But ROT is not return on investment, but return on time. It's super important. But it's how much time do I put into wholesaling and how many deals I get out. If I cared about ROI, I would just walk for dollars, right? It's the best ROI. But if I'm spending 40 hours and not getting a lot of leads, it's a bad ROT. So we talk about ROT. Drawing for dollars is still going to be your best one. And technically direct mail. You just click a button, send them out. But yeah, that's it. So let's see here. Marcellus asks, I'll do this one really quick. What are your favorite list to pull right now? Marcellus, I don't even know what market you're at. So it's hard for me to tell you because it's very market specific, but government lists, drawing for dollars. And if you really want to get on some paid lists, I would do some tired landlords right now. I just think they're working really, really well.
And in the government lists, like that means code violations, people that have tall grass, for example, right? And also it means people who have not paid their taxes, right? You can get pulling a list of people who haven't paid their taxes. Any other government lists that you like?
David, you're going to start a rabbit hole. I've taught, when I get someone like Matt there who says, I ran out of leads. I get one guy say, I ran out of government lists. I had the code violations and the probates. I'm like, I can go forever. I'll start from the top, right? We got code violations. We got probates. We got tax delinquencies. We have tax liens. We have IRS debt lien lists. We have credit card debt lien lists. We have pre-foreclosures. We have the arrest records. We have the evictions, fire damage properties, water shutoffs, utility liens. I can go on and on and
Where
on.
do you get the credit card list?
So you go to the government, basically the clerk of the court. You find all of basically they're called list pendants or notice of default. And like Capital One Bank is going to file a court action for $3,000 to take over Jeanette Smith and put a lien on her house.
Gotcha.
And that's how you do it. And now if that list pendants is for $200,000 and it's connected to a property, it's most likely for a pre-foreclosure. But like any type of money problem somebody has, there's a government list. I think I counted. There's like 40 government lists.
Whoa, dude, that blew my mind.
It's crazy. Remember, you don't pay your credit card, boom, I should call you. If your water got shut off, call you. If a relative died or if you just died, a death record, you can go contact the next heirs before the probate is even filed. There's so many type of lists. One thing I really like too is the arrest records. No one ever talks about that. When you get arrested and you go to jail, a lot of people think I can't say the M word, on YouTube. But like everyone thinks that's who you are. You're a person that goes and just like attacks people, right? Most people get arrested for like non-violent crimes, DUIs, shoplifting. Like these aren't like scary, like they're not good, but like they're not like scary people. Like I'm in fear for my life, right? And these people, they might go to jail for a year or two for a DUI. They still need to sell their house, right?
Yeah, who's paying? They're not able to make money while they're in jail, right?
No. And then people are so scared to talk to them. Like, yeah, Jerome over here got a DUI, but like, I know it's not a good thing, and he's going to jail. He's serving. He did a crime, but like, he's still a human being. He still owns real estate. He still needs help. Don't treat this person like they're ostracized from the world, right? Like, there's some very, very, I would say, non-forgivable crimes that I always avoid. But like outside of that, we're fine. I once wholesaled a guy on death row, and he lived in another state. He just needed the cash, all through letters. I didn't go to meet the guy, but like, I'm fine with it. I mean, he ain't gonna be around too long, so it's fine. So like,
wow,
guys, you got to understand. You do it through the relatives too. These are still human beings. And when you go and complain to me that, I can't find any wholesaling deals, you refuse to do that because you're mentally caught up on it. It's insane. So guys, favorite list to pull right now, government list, hands down. There's so many of them. Nobody outside this YouTube channel ever talks about it. And so for everyone watching this, it's a great opportunity for you.
Thanks for breaking that down for me. I definitely learned about some of those lists myself just now.
Oh, the rabbit hole gets deep, man. There's so many lists to be going after. And the best part is all those government lists update every single day, every day. And there's over 3,500 or at least 3,000 government agencies like counties that have their own specific clerk of court system that you can get from too. And so it's not just Austin, right? You can go to like Pflugerville, their code enforcement department.
Dang,
right?
You really know your Austin area.
I virtually wholesale all of the country. I get so many people like, I can't wholesale in Austin. I'm like, go to Killeen. It's right there. So many wholesaling deals there, right? Texas is amazing. There's so many great markets everywhere. But yeah, I get people send me deals all the time, and I can calculate it it's pretty easy to figure it out. But man, there's deals everywhere.
Well, should I tell people the chance they have to get some special bonuses?
Of course.
All right. So again, you've got one more chance to get 2 special bonuses. In order to qualify, you go to dmzac.com, start a 7-day free trial, and you'll get 200 skip traces or 50 postcards included. You're also going to get Pro for 12 months. It starts with that 7-day free trial, and you're going to get 33% off for 12 months. So $990 for a value of $1,458. You're going to get those 200 free skip traces and 50 free postcards. But here's what else you're going to get. You're going to get 3 users on your account. You're going to get 50,000 leads per month. You're going to get the ability to pull niche lists to 20,000 leads of those per month. So if you're out, right, this is a great option. You're going to get all the D4D map features like highlights, which can show you which properties may have higher equity than others. So you don't pass one up. And then you can reverse D4D by uploading a list, and the app will give you GPS directions to each one of those houses. You can put a sticky note on the front door. You can get MLS comps and data on the map, which helps you make confident offers like we mentioned earlier. You get Alma, which is the AI real estate assistant that helps me get over my analysis paralysis. You get all the mail center features, including Street Pick, which is if you're not there to get a photo, it'll put the picture of the house from the Google Images on the actual postcard if you're sending that out. You get CRM features like list stacking. So you'll know if one person's got multiple motivations, if they're on multiple lists. Let's say they got delinquent credit cards and their house looks run down. That's going to be really valuable because there's like multiple factors there why they might need to get rid of that house quickly and give it to you for a discount. Tasks, notes, filters, and the pipeline, which helps you keep track of if you got a call, this person wants you to follow up in 2 months, like somebody said in the comments, you could put a status. You could change the status of that deal for that so you don't forget to follow up. You're going to get cheaper skip tracing pricing. So that's getting the phone number and cheaper postcard prices with this special. And you're also going to get access to the Deal Machine Masterclass, which is a live Wednesday call that we do with a lot of people who are building financial freedom for themselves and getting these deals led by an expert. So that's going to be what you get. And again, one of the bonuses is you get that off 33% off. You got 2 options. You can do the 7-day free trial and 200 skip traces, or you can go straight to the 33% off for 12 months, which is going to be the QR code on the right. And so again, if you're committed and you know, hey, I'm just like in this job that I don't like, I don't want to live in a cubicle, I'm 100% committed. I like the idea of getting out through a proven business model that I know Zach demonstrates on his YouTube channel daily, then I would definitely recommend getting the 33% off, because it's a commitment to yourself. You know, it's not going to happen in 1 week, and that's going to be setting you up for success, removing any barrier and committing yourself to the actions you know you need to take. So that would be the QR code on the right, by the way. So you guys just take a moment and scan that. And then in just a moment, okay, I'm going to reveal who's actually going to be winning the prize. And again, if you're taking the actions, we're all going to be winners, but we do have a special bonus for you that I wanted to share. If you guys would like to drum roll, do that on your desk and join me. Okay. It's going to be $1,500 grand prize giveaway. Woo! And the winner is going to get 1 year of Deal Machine Pro, which is what I just talked to you about. $100 worth of free skip tracing and postcards to reach sellers. Your homework assignment to qualify for this was posting proof of your list of 400 leads in the Wholesaling Houses for Real, for Real Facebook group. Wholesaling Houses for Real Facebook group. And then to show up live on this training. So I hope you're here if you're somebody who submitted your homework. And we've got a winner. I'm actually pulling that up right now. Let's see. It's on a different screen. Hold on. The winner, you have to be here, is Jonathan Ma. Jonathan Ma, are you here?
Jonathan Ma. All right, let's go check it out. I think he's here. Hope he is.
We got to wait and make sure he's here. If he's not here, I got a secondary winner.
Yeah, we got a secondary one. Let's see. Let's look in the chat here. If he's not here, he's going to feel bad.
Well, if he was on here.
He's on.
He's on?
Yeah, he says, I'm here. Awesome.
Jonathan, congratulations, man. That's amazing. Thanks. You did such a great job. We wanted to reward you with $1,000, $1,500 worth of Deal Machine. Like I said, for that special deal. Everyone else can still get the 33% off, like I mentioned. But you may have completed the homework. You may not have. And we celebrate you taking action, because you still can go through your own pace by watching these recordings if you're just here. So where do you go from here? Where is your advice that they go from here? I mean, obviously, you got to take action. You got to watch the replay and go at your own pace. What other advice do you have, Zach, for somebody who may have done the homework or may not have, but they're here now?
Get some deals. That's really, it's called homework. The last part of it's work, right? Work. That's it. Nobody cares how tired you are. Hate to say it, nobody cares what struggles you've been through. I'll give you some empathy, but like the truth is nobody cares. And you can either cry about that or actually say like, okay, nobody cares. That means I got to care for my own self and go after it. So you got to quit the excuses. I don't care how much of a sob story life has been right now. You have to make the change. And nobody is going to be there. As a man or woman right now, wherever you're at in the United States or around the world, nobody cares about your struggles. You have to just be the only person that cares. And you have to be the only person that says, screw that, I'm actually going to do the work. That's it. Countless times I get people that put in the work. They actually, they overcome that fear of drawing for dollars, reverse drawing for dollars, cold calling, texting, whatever it is, talking to a seller. And they overcome that fear, and it sucks, but they do it and they end up getting deals. And we get the people that are crippled by it, and they end up not even doing one drawing for dollars deal. The honest truth is, either you choose to get rich or you don't. That's it. Every man or woman in wholesaling real estate that made 100 grand made the decision to make 100 grand. It didn't automatically fall in their lap. They had to consciously make that decision and mix the work with the thought process and get after it.
Love that. The truth is, yeah, nobody cares more than you, no matter what. And so they're definitely not going to be doing the work for you. You've got to do the work yourself. So use that swift kick in the ass that we all need sometimes and go find some deals. It's broken down in the replays, and it's also was broken down very simply by Zach. You just so eloquent, Zach. You got a great way with words. There's two things that matter. You got to find rundown distressed properties, and you have to communicate with the actual owners. And we've given you options that are very low cost to do that, right? The reverse D for D method with the sticky note. So get out there, use this Swift kick to get yourself a deal.
That's it, guys. Go after and do the work.
I'm jazzed. I'm pumped up, man. I know somebody else is going to get a deal here in no time because I've just seen it so many times over and over again. It doesn't matter what your background is. You can do it if you put in the work.
Every single week, I do a podcast on Monday, and it always does well because I always bring somebody on that learned from freewholesaling.com who made no money. They're making 20, 30, 40. This Monday was 100 grand a month, and they all have the same thing in common. They all put in the work. That's why I say it all the time. That's why they don't make sorry excuses. They go out here and do action. And that's the only thing you can do, right? I can go to anybody who opts on a one-on-one with me, and you can tell me how many drawing for dollars leads you've done. I can tell you exactly how much money you've made. It's always the ones who are the people who are using Deal Machine right now that haven't put at least 30 leads in their Deal Machine this week. I know they're not doing deals. Saying that in the nicest way, I know you're not doing deals. And I know, or you're struggling to get deals. But the ones that are putting in 120 a week and always contacting those sellers over a year, I don't think it's even possible in Deal Machine to put in 100 drawing for dollars leads that are like legit. You call, text them, and send a postcard to each one for 100 a week. That's 5,200 leads and get 0 deals. I think it's impossible.
I think that is impossible. I completely think you're right.
Right?
So it's so easy. You just broke it down.
And you'll spend at most, if I add Deal Machine, I add all the postcard costs and all that, you would probably spend $3 grand over a year doing that. And it's almost impossible not to make 10 or 15. Impossible.
There you go.
So, that's the truth.
There you go. All right, guys. Zach, what else do we need to cover here, man? Because I love hanging out with you. I just want to make sure we're not leaving anything that these people need to hear that we haven't said yet.
They got to get to work. That's it. I don't know what else to tell anyone. If you want to make it easier, use dmzac.com. Again, it's a shovel. It's a tool. And so if you want to go dig half a mile down the ground, you can use your hands. That's possible. I let everyone know you don't need to use Deal Machine to start drawing for dollars. I get it. You don't need to. But it just makes the whole thing a lot easier and a lot more simple. And I will tell you, if you get more drawing for dollars leads, it does pay for itself really quick. There's a lot of people, I'll tell you this. Deal Machine, if you're in Texas, because you're in Texas in a non-disclosure state, very difficult to get comps in Austin. Houston's got actually the easiest one because you got the har.com that actually does that. But outside of that, you're going to need some type of MLS access for your comps if you just want to get a decent amount of deals and doing your comps the right way, everything like that. And so Deal Machine's a really good tool for that too. I don't think anyone really talks about that in a non-disclosure type state, but go use it. You can use Alma, you can use all these great things and just get to work. You can also virtual draw for dollars. You're virtually wholesaling right now. You can also do that too. So many you need to do.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Of course. Appreciate it, guys. Get to work and keep the challenge going.
All right.